Hello, and welcome back to Unhelpful Yoda. Today we have a rumor that Monolith Soft is remaking Baten Kaitos, and we have Level 5 looking to make a return to the West. Let's get started. First up, we have Level 5 looking to make a return to the West in development, so like Europe and US releases, that kind of stuff. Here we have a job posting that they made with the recent globalization of game businesses. We are looking for people to maximize the business scale as a content holder and actively develop Level 5's IP not only in Japan but on a global scale. And it's just, job speak for we want to put games out across the world instead of just in Japan, which is really good because Level 5 makes some fantastic games, as you can see just pictured here on the screenshot for this post. They have Professor Layton and Yokai Watch as what I would say are probably the two biggest ones that come to mind for me. But just overall, Level 5 makes some really good stuff, and I would like to see them return to the West. This is a company I don't particularly care about for my own personal gaming. I do like some of the games, like Professor Layton, but I don't care that much for my gaming. However, I know they have a lot of popular franchises, and I would like to see them make a return to global releases. I don't really like when games are just trapped outside of your region because, especially for language barriers, they're just not in English, and that's really annoying. I guess other languages too, but I speak English, so I want the games in English. This is a good thing. Level 5 is one of those companies that I'm not a big fan of, corporate mergers. You've probably heard me talk about the Microsoft Activision stuff and how I don't particularly like it. I feel like it's going to happen, but I don't really like it. But in this specific case, with as much work as Nintendo has done with Level 5 and the publishing area, I would really just like to see Level 5 be purchased by Nintendo. Again, I don't particularly like purchases from companies and stuff like that. However, Level 5 makes some really good stuff that a lot of people love. It's almost always exclusive or sells its best on Nintendo hardware. And honestly, it's just they're struggling. They're really struggling. So it'd be nice to just see Nintendo pick them up, or at the very least just do something with them or help them in some way, because they're essentially they're one of those companies that is not Nintendo owned or related, but they might as well be. Most of their games are just on the Nintendo systems. In this specific case, I would like to see them get purchased by Nintendo. I think that would be helpful to the company overall. Kind of in the same vein of Sony buying Insomniac, where they didn't own them, but they might as well. And next up, we have Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League leaking on 4chan. I'm not going to be putting any pictures up because I did that already and it got taken down. So we're not going to be putting pictures up this time. The game looks like shit. Did you think this game was going to look good? Not graphically, but just as a game, it looked bad every time we've seen it. The previews we've seen, the little trailers we've seen, it looks bad. It's always looked bad. It was a bad idea. The concept for the game was bad. That's it. That's the entire segment here. The concept for this game was bad. It looked like a shit game when they announced it. It never had anything good going for it. The best thing about this game is that Kevin Conroy is going to be voicing Batman. And it's a shame that this is going to be his last time voicing the character, because this game it looks like shit. It's a dumb game idea, especially coming out of the Arkham universe. The Arkham games are some of the best comic book games ever. They probably are the best ever, but I'd be willing to argue that Spider-Man and Miles Morales are just as good or very close to as good. I could see that argument. This is if they took that, which actually, it's not even it's literally, they took some of the best single-player games and said, but what if we made it multiplayer with a battle pass and a bunch of microtransactions and it was nothing like the game that everyone loved. But we just tell people it's in the same universe. Sure. Okay. Dude, nothing about this game was ever looking good. I don't care. This game's terrible. And next up, sticking with the game news, for once we actually have a lot of gaming stuff here on Nerd News, we have Monolith Soft remaking Baten Kaitos. It says here Eternal Wings and The Lost Ocean. I don't know any of the Baten Kaitos names. I know the name Baten Kaitos, but I've never actually played the game. It's one of those games that's on the GameCube that I actually do want to play. But GameCube games are so expensive. I don't know if this game specifically is expensive. I'm going to take a guess that it is. It's Monolith. It's first-party Nintendo. It's, that stuff. GameCube games in general are just expensive. So I assume this is expensive, and it probably does need some kind of re-release. But honestly, it's just the kind of game that I actually want for the system and just don't own, even though I have a sizable GameCube collection. Not important. They're remaking the game. Maybe. I don't know. It says rumors and its sources say they're remaking it and that it might be out by the summer. Right now we have a estimated release date, summer of 2023. And that a reveal is possible during this year's E3. One of those two sentences is a lie. We're going to assume that this is real, that Monolith is remaking this game, because, sure, Monolith can work on multiple projects at a time. That's not really a big deal to them. They are a relatively large studio. So that's fine. I can believe that. I can believe they're working on this remake while also putting out DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That's not a problem, so I have no questions that this is something they could be working on. At the same time, I perfectly believe that Nintendo might be wanting this game to be remade. It is a Monolith IP. It is pretty, I don't want to say big, but it was popular-ish on the GameCube. It has a relatively big following. More recently, it's gotten a lot more following, a lot more hype, and, that's not something they're going to put on, the NSO. So I could see this getting a remake or a remaster, some kind of treatment. All of that's fine. I'm willing to believe this is real. What I'm not willing to believe is that they're going to announce it in June at E3 and then release it in the summer, because that would be September at the latest. So June, July, August, September, 4 months. 4 months for a Mario game? Sure. Not a problem. 4 months for Paper Mario, or whatever, it was like a month for Paper Mario. Fine, not a big deal. 4 months for Baten Kaitos? No, absolutely not. If this is getting announced and released this year, we'll probably see this at the first Direct of the year, or it won't be released this calendar year. It'll be released early 2024. I do not in any way see a summer announcement and release. I just don't. If it happens, I'm happy to be wrong, because I do want to play this. I will buy this. If this comes out, I will buy it. But I do not see an E3 reveal with a summer release. That's just not realistic to me. Also, and this is they put a lightweight chance. I'm going to say this just isn't happening. In addition, there's a lightweight chance that a remake could be released as part of a bundle where the collection would comprise both games, Eternal Wings and The Lost Ocean and Origins. But don't hold your breath. I think that's just not happening. Maybe, at best, on the perfect release, we get an announcement with a release date for the first game, and then we get a follow-up hey, the first game's coming out and it's being remade and it looks great, and also next year we're going to have Origins 2. I could see that, maybe. That's fine. I could kind of get behind that idea. Complete remakes of both games and they're releasing as a bundle? No, that's not happening. Nintendo would not do that, because they can sell these both for $60 and make more money. Why would they release them both as one game for $60 when they can sell both of them for $60 individually? So they're not going to do that. Don't worry. That's not going to happen. I do see it being realistic that if we get one, we'll get the other, but Definitely not in a bundle of any sort. But other than that, as the news as itself, this is good news. This is a game I do really want to play. This is something that I have been sort of looking for. I'm not actively trying to find it or just like going on eBay and just buying it to play it. But it's the kind of game where if I see it, I do definitely want to pick it up. So I'm happy to see if this does get a remake, because I would absolutely play this remake in a heartbeat. But we're not getting both games. It's not getting announced and released during the summer. It'll be one or the other. It'll get announced either earlier and then released in the summer, or announced in the summer and released later, like next year, early next year maybe. But other than that, I think this is a perfectly valid and reasonable leak that's probably somewhat true. And lastly for today, we have Disney's Lorcana. I'm going to call it Lorcana. I don't actually know what its name is. Lorcana. You'll see it here on the screen. I'm not good at pronouncing things if you haven't figured that out yet. But this is a new card game coming from Disney, and I'm really looking forward to this. I do like card games quite a bit. If you haven't noticed on the channel, we have opened Yu-Gi-Oh! Mostly, but we've also done One Piece and Digimon and some Pokemon. I don't really play a lot of these other games. I do play Yu-Gi-Oh! Quite a bit, and I've been trying to get into the One Piece card game, although I haven't really had a chance to actually try to sit down and play it. Pokemon I have zero interest in playing, really, but I do like Pokemon, so just sometimes opening the product just to see the Pokemon, and like I do like to get some of the cards. And then I think the Pokemon video I have on the channel is just, I opened it because I wanted the pins that came with the box, and that was it. That was enough of a reason for me to buy it. But regardless, I do like TCGs quite a bit, and this is a new one from Disney, and I love Disney animated stuff, so this looks cool. As you can see, there's a ton of products here. We have some structure decks featuring Moana, which looks like Minnie on the bottom. We have Corilla, and I can't really make out who that is underneath. I'm not 100% sure on that one. And then we have Cinderella with Lion King. I'm guessing that, I believe that's Simba. I'm not a big Lion King fan. I'm pretty sure that is adult Simba, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a huge Lion King fan. And then we have some just like, and that's the structure decks. We also have some packs here. We can see Maleficent, Elsa, Mickey. We can also see in the gift set that there is a Hades and a Mulan card. Again, this just looks really cool. This is the first chapter. It'll be coming August of this year, which is good. It's only a few months away. I mean, it's like 7 months away, but still. The late summer, I guess, is the time frame that they're going for. But regardless, it looks really cool. I don't know enough about the game to know how it plays or anything like that, but I assume being a Disney card game, it'll probably be relatively easy, or at least not like super intensive. Honestly, my only hope with this game is that 1, Belle is in it, and 2, I can play a deck that revolves around Belle. As long as she's in the game and good, I'll be happy. I will pick up that deck, I will make that deck work, and I will never play another card in my life. That's all I need to play. I could do that forever. It would be nice if you could have like a mix and match, and based on these structure decks, it looks like you can just kind of mix and match. It's not like you have to focus on a movie or anything like that, which was a fear I had when they initially announced it. I was like, oh, you're going to play like a Rapunzel deck, and it's just going to be people from Tangled. Like, that's fine, but that's not really what I want. I want to be able to mix and match and play with a bunch of different characters, because that's what sounds the most fun to me, and it looks like that is the way it's going to work. I haven't really been following super closely on everything, although I have seen some of the cards, and while I don't know exactly what's going to be good and what's not, because we've only seen like 10 actual cards or something, I'm really excited for the game. And again, I'm just hoping that Belle's in the game, which I'm sure she will be, because it's Beauty and the Beast. Why wouldn't she be? But also that she's good. I'm hoping that Belle is a good card so that I can play her, and that can be my deck forever. So yeah, also Hades. I kind of want Hades to be good. He being included in the gift set gives me hope that it's good. But we'll see. Also, good rarities. I really like shiny cardboard, so I hope the game has a lot of shiny cardboard, like just a ton of shiny cardboard, and like super shiny cardboard, like full arts or just like excessive sparkles everywhere, like a Starlight Rare. I want that just like all over the place. That would be great. I doubt it, but that would be really cool. That's all I got. I just hope that the game's fun. But we'll be checking in on this as they release more information, and then I can guarantee you come August we will be opening at the very least whatever structure decks are released. But I'm going to try to get packs and like maybe that gift set. It's going to come down to how the game plays on what I actually end up buying. But I'm definitely planning on buying into this game. Just because Disney animation is always really good, and I can't wait to actually see what they do with it. And that's all the news for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, and let me know, have you played Baten Kaitos? Are you planning to pick up a possible remake? Would you be interested in the remake at all? Let me know in the comments down below, and we'll be back on Friday with more nerd news.